I love to see you. Thank you for coming. We love it when you show up. I'm Lady Lou, the baby boomer babe, and this is our wisdom chat for the Curious Show. And we're so delighted to be here today. We talk about wonderful, fun things that make people curious about knowing more, and we love to know more. And we're redoing this show with Rita Losay. She's up in Maine, and we had a few difficulties with the technology the other day, so we are doing the show again. And welcome, Rita. We're so glad you're back.
And I'm delighted to be here too. I'm glad we got to do a do-over on that
Yeah,
experience of the other day.
we did. And over there on the other side is my co-host, Marion LaSalle. Say hi, Marion.
Well, hello. So glad to be here.
It's going to be a fun show. Rita is one of those extraordinary people who is fit as a senior. I'm a senior and I am not what you call fit. So Rita's going to give us a bunch of tips for all of us to learn so that we can get our little old bodies into a fit state. So Rita, what is your favorite tip to give folks on getting and staying fit at any age, actually?
Well, I wrote a book called Soaring Seniors a couple of years ago, and it's stories, steps, and strategies for living full out after 50, 60, 70, ... And step one in the book is move more.
Oh.
But I've continued to learn and grow. Step 4 in the book is watch what you eat and don't eat. And if I was rewriting the book today, I would start with the food part of the issue. I have become more and more aware as time has gone by and learning has gone on that the American food supply is horrifically contaminated and unhealthy. So it's called the Standard American Diet.
We've heard of that, the SAD diet.
AKA SAD. My take on SAD, it's the sickness activating diet.
Ooh, did you hear that, Lady Lou?
Oh, wow.
Eh.
And there is more and more evidence of how horribly sick it is making us.
Ooh.
One of my new favorite books is called Food Fix by Mark Hyman. Yeah. He's an author. I have some Hyman envy because he can write a bestseller at the drop of a hat. He writes a book, it's a bestseller, but I love that.
Yeah.
But in Food Fix, he outlines very thoroughly the damage that the American food supply is doing to our people. And right now we're experiencing the coronavirus experience. I have been deliberately distancing myself from the news about that because in my estimation, there are two viruses spiraling around. One is the actual physical virus. Mm-hmm. The second is the fear virus that is so contagious. So I'm distancing myself, and I don't know how many people have died as a result of the coronavirus as we're talking. But Mark Hyman in Food Fix states there are 11 million people every year dying as a result of our food supply.
Oh.
So that, to me, and again, I absolutely realize, does the food that I eat today have an impact on my immune system? Because in this particular period of time in which we're operating, it's very, very clear that we really need robust, healthy, vigorous immune systems.
Rita, I have a question for you, and you may or may not be able to answer, but the thought just hit me really hard. Is there a way for us to test that other than fat growing on our body, that we're eating the wrong foods?
Yeah, you can get vitamin levels done. You can measure what's in your blood. Vitamin levels you can actually, and I haven't researched because it's very new, glyphosate is the chemical that's in Roundup that's sprayed on 95% of the wheat grown in this country. I just learned in the last week that you can get blood glyphosate levels done. Now, do I think Medicare is going to pay for it? No, but you can get it done. So there are ways of measuring. And one of the things that's easy to measure and to know is what your vitamin D level is.
Yes.
And there are, the medical profession has a standard of 20 to 50. If your range is in 20 to 50, they would say you're good to go. Now, the original conceptualization around vitamin D or all vitamins was what's enough to prevent deficiencies. I keep my vitamin D somewhere around 75 because I don't want to prevent a deficiency. I want optimal functioning. And we know that high levels of vitamin D are protective of, they help our immune systems function more accurately. There was a study that I came across in 2014 done on school children in Japan. And the question they were researching was, what protects more against the flu? Vitamin D, high levels of, and it was 3,000 IU a day of vitamin D, or a flu shot. And what it showed was the vitamin D was more effective. So that's something you can easily find out. Often doctors they'll test your vitamin D and they'll tell you it's normal. The question that you want to ask if they say that to you is, I want to know what my number is. Then you know whether you're in the prevent deficiency stage or really healthy functioning stage. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah. The reason I ask that is because I feel fine. I've always felt fine. I feel happy. I feel good. I feel, so why would I need to change? And I thought, if I knew those numbers, if I knew what the food is doing to me, maybe I wouldn't want to eat it because it tastes so darn good. I know they have specialized scientists that know exactly what to put in that food to make it taste so good that I can't resist it. And then there's people like Lady Lou who will dish it out, like an ice cream and stuff every time I come to visit her. But it's hard to say no. But if we know that it's hurting us and that it's going to cause problems, maybe it would slow us down. I'm not saying it would stop us because let's face it, people are still smoking and they're still eating hamburgers and French fries every day. And they know darn good and well it's not good for you. But when it doesn't hurt or it doesn't make you feel bad or it's so slow you don't notice it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what would cause me to really think about putting what I put in my food, what I put in my mouth. And it might be that I need some testing. That's why I asked. I really want to know.
And that's a good point. And in any behavior change, the first thing that happens is we become aware. I was an ice cream addict for the vast majority of my life.
I blame Lady Lou for that.
5 or 6 years ago, I was working at a ropes course in the summertime, and a lot of the time I was in the ice cream shack scooping awesome ice cream, and I could have all that I wanted to eat, and I didn't have to pay for it. I mean, like Nirvana. And then in 2016, I had been sick for a long time and I couldn't get well. And I accessed Medical Medium, the book that was a bestseller.
Yeah.
And he suggested a 28-day fresh fruit and vegetable detox. Mm-hmm. So I had the realization. I was on some medication in January of 16. I realized I was never going to be healthy as long as I was on that medication. So I needed to get off it. Then I accessed Medical Medium and made a commitment and actually did that 28-day fast or detox. Now, I gave myself a rice cake with peanut butter on it every afternoon, and I cooked my vegetables because in Maine in February, I really needed a hot meal in the course of the day. But what I noticed was I had so much more energy. I felt so much better. And I did the traditional, I'm going to quit smoking tomorrow, so I'm going to smoke today. So the day before I started it, I had some ice cream. But it's fascinating to me because that experience absolutely cut off that addictive relationship to ice cream for me. So I would say in the 4 years since then, I have maybe had 2 cups total of ice cream. And if I have any, it's a spoon or 2 and it's done. So
fascinating. I want to tell you another story that might help our audience come off of things like ice cream or donuts or whatever. I'll try to shorten the story because it is a little longer. So I was in a class, it's NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I was becoming certified. And our instructor said, okay, who wants to be in the hot seat? Oh, I do. So, okay, what do you want to change, Marion? What's your problem? I said, I'm addicted to donuts. So I can't pass a donut up. You know, when the grocery store, they have them right there. You know, every other block is a Shipley's Donuts, you know, Dunkin' Donuts. I said, I can't pass one up. I'm like, my car turns in or the door opens up, you know? And so he goes, okay, no problem. So he put me in a meditative state. He brought me, he didn't say I'm going to hypnotize you, but let's face it, that's what he did. And he said, okay, Marianne, now imagine that you are in the most wonderful smelling place. They're just bringing all the donuts out and it's warm and the smell is just so, and it's just, they're your favorite donuts, which happened to be glazed at the time. So I'm literally seeing it. I could feel the drool coming down. And he goes, okay, now I want you to start swimming in that donut. Oh, and those donuts are warm. And he's just really laying it on thick. I'm drooling now. Anyway, he goes, okay, now, Marianne, one of those donuts wrapped itself around your waist and is starting to squeeze you and it's starting to hurt and it's really hurting you. It's squeezing. You can hardly breathe. And so I could see and feel myself flailing around in this donut that's squeezing me. And do you know, by the time we get finished with that session, I never wanted another donut. Now, just like you, I can see them. If I'm really hungry and somebody has one, I might take a bite or 2, and that's it. Can you believe it was that easy? Bam! Yes. So whatever the cause of, you know, getting you off of that, whether it's cigarettes or donuts or whatever, you know, you could find a way, right? I mean, that's how fast it was.
Absolutely. And certainly the idea that you can change your mind, that activity of changing happened in your mind. So part of the strategy is to keep that awareness of this food literally can kill me.
Yes.
Now, do you really want to do it? And the answer is no. Another strategy for getting free of those food addictions is to eat with people who eat healthier food than you do.
Do we know anybody?
And hang out with people who eat healthier food. As an experiment, once we're off quarantine status,
yeah, there you go.
go to an organic, healthy restaurant.
Yeah.
And just experiment with the tastes that are available.
Right.
And do it with friends and share the experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
okay. One more thing. I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but
no, please do.
This to me is so important. I was in the grocery store before we had this, you know, self-distancing thing, and I was looking around for some stuff, and I was looking around for the ingredients for spaghetti, And I was looking at the different things, and she had on her list, get some paste and this. And this guy looks at me, and he said, this one says it's healthy on it. I got to put that one back. It probably doesn't taste that great. Let me grab this one. And I thought, we are conditioned to know that healthy doesn't taste good.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Oh.
And the fact of the matter is, your taste will shift over a period of time. When I look back at having 2 bowls of ice cream, which was certainly not an unusual event in my life, the idea of it, I mean, I can even feel my stomach starting to rebel at eating that much ice cream. So we are, and one of the things that the main Univera team does, we have dinners where we invite people and we all make healthy, good tasting food. And that tradition got started simply because of that fact that you cited, Mary Ann, that we as a culture think, if it's healthy, it's not going to taste good.
I'm afraid so. I could see it plain as day when he said that. He goes, oh, it says it's healthy. Puts it right back on the shelf.
But there's so many things in the world of spices and other types of things that have good flavors. Excuse me, that means somebody's in my driveway.
Okay.
It's my nephew. He's mowing today. He just ran over the bell. Anyway.
I love that bell. It reminds me of my childhood when you'd go to the gas stations, and that's the bell that they had.
Bell, yeah.
My dad did that because this house is so quiet. You can't hear when people drive in the driveway. So he wanted to know when people were here. So I have the bell. Sorry about that. But anyway, there's so many spices and things that people can add to their flavor. And you can even grow your own. Go get some cilantro. I love cilantro. And dill and you name it. They're available right now. It's spring. Plant your own little herb garden, and you can do it in pots. I've got my tomatoes in pots now. My garden gets eaten up by bugs, so I bring my garden up here by my house where the bugs stay down there. And just start your own. You can get these boxes, and it doesn't have to be a big box. You can plant 4, 5, 6 different things in the same box, and they just get bushier and bushier, and then you pinch them off and put them in your food. You can experiment and have a blast with herbs and spices.
And I think that's something that we all ought to do. I think the statistic is the average American eats 12 different foods in a week. That's not enough variety to be healthy.
No.
So growing your own and teaching your kids to grow their own is a way of expanding the variety and thus the quality and the quantity of the nutrients that we're taking into their bodies. Our bodies are designed to have a wide range of nutrients, and we've got kind of a monoculture about what we'll eat to our detriment. The other thing that doing your own garden will do for you, you're out digging around in the dirt, you're playing with microorganisms that are good for you. And, the focus right now is all on this microorganism that's not so good for us. But as you're stirring up the garden dirt, you're bringing microorganisms into your body and outside of your body that are beneficial to your health. And we're learning more and more, if your gut's not healthy, the rest of your body is not healthy either. So
I have often said that the kids these days are so clean, their mama wants to go out and play in the dirt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when I was little, we ate dirt. We played with dirt. I'd go out to the garden and grab a carrot out of the ground, and I'd wipe it off with my hand or on my sleeve or my pants, and I'd eat that carrot with dirt all over it. And we're healthier than anybody.
We used to do that with rhubarb. It would grow wild in the alleys, and we used to eat rhubarb right out of the ground.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, that is so tart.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yes. And human beings, our digestive systems are exquisitely well designed to ingest raw foods because many eons of time ago, we didn't have a way to cook it. We were eating on the run, as it were.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
and I agree with you, Lady Lou, that we've got sterilized kids, and we have more kids that are sick than we've ever had before. And there is a correlation there.
Yeah. They're not playing outdoors anymore. They're on their cell phones or their iPads or whatever, and they're not socializing. They're not learning how to get along and how to have a fight and how to make up. And it's a sad thing.
Right. And we now have an opportunity, hopefully, after we get out of quarantine, people will start playing together outdoors. And as you say, it's spring now. So what a perfect opportunity.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a delightful season. And I am thrilled because they also say that the warmer weather, the hot weather, will help kill off the virus. And bring it on. I usually don't like hot weather, but I'm ready for it now.
Yeah. And I think, I don't have hot weather here in Maine and probably won't for a while. Although they were talking 60 for tomorrow, which sounds like, yes, bring that. But the idea is in this particular time frame, what can I do to improve my immune function? And one of the first things is cut down the sugar in your diet, because we do know that sugar ingestion very quickly subdues your immune system.
Ooh, I didn't like that one.
No.
As I have a bowl of candy sitting next to me, chocolate.
And the thing of it is, like you pointed out, Marion, the scientists have deliberately manipulated our food to make it irresistible.
I know,
and then we'll turn right really back to the store.
They pay them really well to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I see a change in. There's certainly more organic foods available to all of us now than there were 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. There are more healthier products. I can go to Walmart and buy organic zoodles in the frozen food department. That wasn't true 2 or 3 years ago. So we can see a shift there. And the more we buy the healthy products, the more they'll provide for us.
You better believe it.
So we can be in control.
Yes.
Will it take more effort than simply driving by McDonald's and grabbing a bag of inedible? Yeah. Faux food. I call it faux food. FAUX. Faux food.
Faux food.
Will it take more time and energy? Yes, it will. Will it save our lives? Yes, it will. Will it improve the quality of our lives? Yes, that will too. Because a great family activity is cooking together.
Right. Even if it's out in the yard on the grill, there's nothing better than fresh grilled veggies. Doesn't have to be a steak, but it can be a steak and veggies. Corn on the cob is wonderful on the grill. And other vegetables, even just stick a carrot on there and see what happens. The flavors are wonderful.
Absolutely.
Rita, do you work with individuals? Are you like a coach? How does someone want to work with you, or do they need to buy your book?
One way to work with me is to buy my book. I do work with people primarily through Univera. And people who are buying Univera products get access to mine and other experts' information about healthy living. I love to speak to groups. That's not happening a whole lot except on Zoom these days. But I am deliberately looking for senior groups to speak to because we're the ones that are most in danger.
Yes.
And certainly one of the things that I fervently believe is we need to do our own research. As you said, people have an expectation that healthy food doesn't taste good. People have an expectation that our doctors will get us healthy, but most doctors know nothing about nutrition because that's not part of their education.
And they're willing to tell you that. They're willing to say, I know nothing about, I can't tell you what to eat. You'll need to go to a different doctor for that. And that's one of the reasons why I love chiropractors, is they dive into health and nutrition, not just cracking your back. I mean, most of them are really digging into what the other doctors don't even have time to do.
Right. Naturopaths do the same thing. There are a lot of nurse nutritionists who do the same. And there are more and more of us. Health coaches, a lot of health coaches that understand this stuff. So there are, again, the demand is being created and more people are available to educate people about what they can do to preserve their own health.
And don't you teach exercise like a Silver Sneakers?
I am. One of my part-time jobs is a Silver Sneakers instructor. And I would recommend anybody, I think, I don't even know if they have a lower age for entry. I've seen some pretty young-looking people show up in my classes, and so great, come on in. But Silver Sneakers does an excellent job of helping people find a good fitness activity for their bodies. Yes. So yeah, I love them.
Explain Silver Sneakers for those who are not familiar with it.
Okay, Silver Sneakers is the national organization. The parent company is Tivity Health. And Silver Sneakers is exercise classes of various types. There's yoga, there's water fitness, there's gym workouts that are designed for people in the older age groups. So there are modifications for people who aren't in very good shape. They present a lot of really, really, really good information. And we know from the research that social isolation is a health threat for seniors.
Yes.
And belonging to the class and going to exercise 3 times a week, that's a way to break down that loneliness barrier.
For those of you out there that really want to talk to Rita, I understand. I get it. I feel so grateful that Lady Lou introduced us to her, because this is the type of reset. This is the type of curiosity that's going to make us better. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to, for those of you who are listening on the podcast, I'm going to read you her information. So her phone number, get ready, get your pen out. And this is on replay. So, and if you want to see what she looks like, you can go to YouTube and Facebook under Natural Curiosity. So her phone number is 207-837-8865. That's Rita Losee, Losee. And you can also email her at rhlosee@gmail.com.
Right. Now, something else about the Silver Sneakers, to go back to that for a moment, it's available through a lot of health plans, Medicare in particular, certain Medicare policies. It's a free service or a benefit, I should say, that you get through your insurance. And check with your insurance carrier and find out if you have that available, and it'll be free when you go. A lot of the YMCAs have this plan, and other exercise places, Gold's Gym, maybe, I don't know where all, but check around your local area and find one of them that has the Silver Sneakers program.
You know, one of the things I think that is pushing us in a forward motion is the fact that we have to social distance ourselves right now. So all the YMCAs are closed. However, right. I think it's pushing them to see the greater need to have it online. So you don't have to go anywhere in order to get the Silver Sneakers taught by Rita. You know, I'm sure that they're going to come out with all these programs now, because all of a sudden we can't go anywhere.
Right. And Silver Sneakers actually did a Facebook Live this morning class. I missed it because I couldn't figure out how to get in. But they've already started doing that. And I know my own local health club where I teach is actually doing that.
Mm-hmm. They have to.
YouTube has all kinds of videos up for exercising.
Yeah.
And just
Another thing to check is my Medicare Advantage plan. I have a $400 wallet every year. So if I go to my local Walmart and buy a kettlebell, I can get reimbursed for
right.
that expense. So essentially, my kettlebells, my weights, whatever, are free to me.
That's
Up to
wonderful.
$400 a year. What
That's
is the deal?
You know, this half an hour has just flown by. I know we have a few more minutes because this is our wisdom chat. So is there anything else that we really need to know? Is there a way to stay on track? Is there something that you can help us with, Rita, that will keep us going in the right direction?
I think I have a soaring seniors Facebook page, a group that people can join.
Oh.
And the whole intention of Soaring Seniors is to help people expand their vision, expand their action, expand their joy, and see living as a senior not as a period of diminishment, deterioration, disease, and death, but as a wonderful time of fullness and richness and wealth and health and fun.
That
Yeah,
sounds great.
I love it. There's so many things that we can do if we will just go out there and hunt for them. And when we go out there, Marion calls it Ms. Google. We can Google things in our area. You can put like Houston, Texas, silver sneakers if you're looking for a silver
Absolutely.
sneakers. The internet is such a wonderful resource. If you're not using it really much, like some people forget, I forget sometimes. Well, I could have asked Ms. Google and I'll go do it. And it's usually there. It's amazing what a wonderful resource. And if nothing else, ask friends. Go at church. Well, when you go back to church, that is, when we get all.
We're having church online now.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
online. But start your own Zoom class, ZOOM.us. It's a free thing up to 30 minutes, and then they tell you that you got 10 more minutes to go, but you've still got 30 free minutes. You can stop it and start it all over again. You don't have to have the paid version. And you can get, how many people can you get on the free one, Marion? Do you remember?
I don't know. No, I don't
But
know.
you can get at least 6 people of your friends, or 5 or 6 of your friends, and have them join. All you do is send them a link. You get the link when you go in and send it to them.
You know, some people are not like us, Lady Lou. They don't know how to create their own stuff, and they really want to go to something like Soaring Seniors. I love that name, Soaring Seniors group on Facebook, because, you know, we need to band together. We can't be together physically right now, but we could go to Soaring You Seniors on Facebook and join this group. And look at the leader. She's fantastic. She's got all that you need, and she's nice and she's approachable. This is the type of thing I love about doing shows like this. It's shining a light on people who are doing good things. And
Yeah.
Rita, I applaud you for doing that, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
And my heart is very thankful for you too. Obviously, I've met some Soaring Senior sisters here through this event, and I'm loving it and that's certainly one of the things I want to do is set up my own podcast at some point, interviewing people who are soaring, because there are a whole lot of us out there, but traditional media doesn't pay any attention to it because the focus is so on you. But there are lots of soaring seniors, and it's good for us to get acquainted with one another and keep each other inspired.
Yes. Would you be willing to share your age, and don't feel like you have to?
Sure. When people ask me that, I often say 37.
Oh.
Chronologically, I turned 78 last weekend.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
And
One of the things, again, the age thing comes with such a load of expectations that mostly are negative.
Yeah.
So I make a distinction between chronological age, which is set in stone. I was born on X day, and that's never going to change. However, my biological age is much more relevant, and I can change that a lot.
Exactly.
One of my I am statements is I am euthanating, YOUTH hyphen ENATING.
I love these new words. It's awesome.
Make stuff.
Yeah.
Euthanasia.
If there's not a word that says what you want to say, make one up.
I
It's
love
right.
it.
Yeah, it's so, so important. And my birthday will be next week, and I'll be 75. I'm no
Oh, you're a kid.
either, but I don't act my age. I hopefully don't look my age, and I don't want to be my age in certain things like health and wellness. I'm maybe 37. I hadn't thought about being 37 again. I like that. And if we put it in our minds, we're younger than we are.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's
I'm
just
37. I'm doing virtually everything I did when I was chronologically 37.
exactly. And the folks who are sitting around watching daytime TV because there's nothing better to do, get up and exercise and go out in fresh air. I live up here in the country. Nobody's up here but me and my nephew. I don't have to worry about the virus up here. And I get out there and rake leaves. I'm way behind on the leaf raking. So there's always something you can do in your yard just to get out in the sunshine. Get that vitamin D.
And we also have an infinite capacity to be helpful to other people.
Yes.
Now, you can make somebody else's life brighter simply by passing them in the corridor at the grocery store and smiling at them.
Oh yeah, I love it when
it's such
people
a
smile
simple,
at me.
easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And the good news is it benefits them and it benefits you.
And if you're isolated, like kind of I am, there's the telephone. You can always make a phone call to friends
Absolutely.
face with lately, and it brightens their day, and it'll brighten your day.
Or write a letter.
Oh, letters! I love. When was the last time you got a letter? Send one. Send a greeting card. Go down to the dollar store. You can buy a whole handful of them for $1 a piece, and start sending out fun cards.
Absolutely.
They'll call you. They'll just be delighted. It's so much fun to get something in the mailbox.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, gosh, this has been fun. Oh, we're so tickled, Rita. We're so glad you're there because you're there for all of us. It's not just a few people who know you personally. Now, hopefully, the whole world's going to know you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, we're so tickled.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
it is truly an honor to talk with you and your audience.
Oh, well, we love you. Well, Marion, you want to wrap it up for us?
Yes, ma'am. We are grateful that you're here with us today. We look forward to this show, and we want to invite you to not only be on the show, but to interact with us. You know, we are live every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central, and that means over on Facebook or YouTube, you can actually ask questions and interact with us, and we would love that. So feel free. You don't have to show up on camera in order to interact with us. So thanks again for coming. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Lady Lou. I'm grateful to be here, and I learn something new every day. Thank you, and we'll see you again very soon. Now, remember.
Thank you.
Go out and create a wonderful day for yourself.
Be happy.
Thank you much, ladies.
Thank you.